Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. You guys know I am officially a dry skin girl. As someone who used to be very oily before she started Accutane, I have been so dying to try every dry skin product out there and let you know what's the best. So I have two new foundations that are like luminous, dewy, glowy. One is drugstore and one is high-end. So I really want to do a little bit of a battle. I want to do half and half, do a wear test, see how it wears throughout the day, which one has the best coverage, which one, you know, doesn't crack or get dry. I have been loving the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. It's my favorite right now, but I would like to have something on the more affordable side, something I can kind of rotate between. So I picked up the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. This is high-end, but it's not as expensive, of course, as the Giorgio Armani. And then I picked up from the drugstore the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth. I loved the Fit Me foundation for matte and poreless, the oil control one, when I was oily. So I'm excited to try their other formula, the Dewy and Smooth. That even just sounds nice, Dewy and Smooth. And this one has sunscreen. I don't know if this one does, but sunscreen, important. So the price difference on these are pretty crazy. The NARS is $49 and the Fit Me is $5.99. And both of them have about a fluid ounce, which I find interesting because they're like the exact same dimensions, but this one is taller. How? I don't know how, but same amount. So I've already done all of my skincare. I've primed my face with my usual products. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do half and half, and then we'll see how it goes. I don't know why, I'm just someone who has to get my hair like fully out of my face. I don't even like to feel it. So I'm gonna start off with the NARS. I got the shade L4 Deauville. I'll link everything down below. This is to shake well. I have my Laura Mercier hydrating primer on right now. So one pump put out this much product. It doesn't put too much, which is kind of nice. It's not like overflowing with one pump. Let's see what one pump can do. So I have a lot of acne scarring that I have to cover, so I'm really curious to see how the coverage is on this. The color might be a little light, but I mean, I am paler than people think I am. I just use a lot of bronzer. So one pump pretty much covered my cheek, and I will say it pretty much covered all of my acne scarring, and it was a very small pump. It feels really light. It feels like there's nothing on. That's something I've noticed with like luminous dewy foundations. They feel so light compared to all my like old school matte foundations that were like super heavy and oil controlling. The nice thing about this product though is you don't have to use a lot. The pumps, trust me, the pumps were so small. I thought I would have to be using like a lot more. So for half of my face, it just took 2 pumps. This blends out really nicely. It's weird because like it looks pale compared to my arms, but my neck is so pale and you're always supposed to match to your neck. I could probably go one shade darker. I ordered it online. It happens. We'll bronze up later. But in terms of coverage, really, really good. And it has that really glowy finish. Feels like there's absolutely nothing on right now. It's so lightweight, but they pack in so much coverage. I'm really impressed with the coverage, guys. Like, I know I keep saying it, but everything was covered in like one layer. Ooh, I like it. And it's supposed to be long wearing, so I'm really curious to see if it is. So let's see now. I have like a big old pimple up here. Let's see if the Maybelline foundation has as much coverage. I got the shade 120. I got the same shade that I always wore in the matte and poreless, so I really hope that it's the same color for each formula, because I wore that matte and poreless for a long time and I always remember I bought 120. So this one is just a bottle, so I'm just gonna pour a little bit on. I would say this is the equivalent that I put on here of the 2 pumps of the first one, so I'm gonna try to like spread it out and kind of see if we can make the same amount work. Immediately I'm already like shook and I've been doing it for like 2 seconds. Wow. Whoa. This is amazing. The coverage is amazing. Wow. Guys, I don't even know what to say. This was $6. What? It's stepping back, it's kind of crazy. I feel like it looks like I just have one consistent foundation on my face. They look the same. They both have an extremely dewy finish. They have the same amount of coverage, same amount of product. I'm so impressed with how much this covered in one little layer for both of them. And they're even like the same color. See, the color matches pretty well. I know some people gonna say it's too pale, but in reality, it matches my neck. Okay, so overall, as you guys can see, amazing coverage on both of these. I would say they're a strong full coverage each, because I cannot tell you how much with like a medium, even light, but mostly even medium coverage foundations, I still have to conceal these dark, you know, red, deep acne scars. So the fact that they covered it all in one layer is amazing. And both sides feel equally light on the skin. Honestly, these feel like the same exact foundations. I'm not even joking. So I'm just gonna finish my makeup off camera like I normally do. I just set my foundation with the Bare Minerals Bare Pro powder. It's one I've been loving lately. It's also a little bit darker, so it will help maybe look the foundation, make the foundation look a little better. But I'm just gonna finish up my face and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Feeling like a human now that I have everything on. Okay, I'm like so baffled by this because I feel like it looks great on both sides. I actually forgot for a second that I have different foundations on each side. It is currently 9 a.m. I have a full day ahead of me, so I guess we'll just check in a few times throughout the day. We'll see how each one is wearing. I set with my usual setting spray on my whole face, so I've done my very normal routine. It's a fair shot on each side. Are they gonna wear the same? Is one gonna last longer? Will the high end defeat the drugstore, or will the drugstore come out on top? But either way, I feel like it looks glowy, it feels light, and I'm very excited to see how this goes. I'll check in a little later. Okay, so I have had these foundations on now for 3 hours. I wanted to do my first check-in. I just filmed a couple of clothing hauls, and let me tell you, I sweat whenever I do those. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot of work to just try clothing on and try to look normal and talk and stuff. So anyway, I was getting hot. So let me just turn this lighting down so we can get our best look here. I'm looking in my mirror. It all still looks perfect. It all still looks perfect. I feel like I can kind of see my acne coming through, like that pimple I had here and a little bit of my scarring here. I mean, I had a little pimple here too. I don't know, but I feel like these are coming through more. And this is the side that's Maybelline. But I mean, I didn't conceal, but I do think both sides, like, I'm still happy with how both sides look right now, and I'd be happy to go out in the world looking like this. I think overall it looks really good. The whole thing is, when I usually film those hauls and I sweat, I'll get a lot of breakage on my forehead, and it still looks like super flawless and no breakage. So I'll check in again later. I am back to do my final check-in of the day. I've had the foundation on for 8 hours, and I must say, I just went grocery shopping. It's pouring rain, like absolutely pouring, and I was an idiot and didn't bring an umbrella or a jacket that had a hood. So your girl got covered. But overall, foundation made it through this really weird day of filming and rain and sweat, blood, and tears. So I'm gonna get right up in here. The texture on my skin, like, I am obsessed with all of these like dewy, luminous foundations because I feel like the texture just looks beautiful. Like, it never clings to the skin or gets like flaky and dry or crusty. Like, it doesn't settle into the pores. It just looks like a second skin. I have a couple of observations. So overall, they're both really good. They didn't settle in anywhere. They didn't kind of start to flake off, or, you know, when foundation kind of starts to just crumble off throughout the day, even whatever kind, luminous or matte. I feel like the texture stayed really nice. Like I said, like a second skin. It looks very, very, very natural. So this side was the NARS. I do feel like this one looks a little bit better, just a little bit. Only because the side here with the Maybelline, like I said, pretty much like my scarring and any parts that were really red, I feel like it's kind of come through throughout the day. It might be from the rain, it might be from filming, I don't know. But I mean, I have scarring on this side too, and I feel like the side stayed full coverage, where this one kind of wore a little bit on areas with some like hyperpigmentation. But I know I have some really intense darkness, you know, for acne and scarring, so if you don't have that problem, not a big deal. But they both wore really nicely. Overall, I love them both. I think they're really comparable. When I put them on, like same exact coverage. If I was to wear the Maybelline one again, the Fit Me, I think I would just conceal, you know, any blemishes or scarring just to make sure it's like totally concealed throughout the day. But the overall look over here is still good besides those spots. I feel like both sides still look the same in terms of color, no oxidization, which is great. Overall, I am really impressed with both, and I think they're super comparable. If you're gonna try one and you don't want to break the bank, that Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth is awesome. I asked you guys on Insta stories if you wanted me to do a review, so I would try it. And if you're oily, definitely try the Matte and Poreless, because that one was a favorite for so long. But 8 hours, that's like a typical wear test for me. I am impressed with these foundations. That NARS Longwear one I think is incredible. It just stayed totally flawless. Affordable option, try the Fit Me. I'll link them both down below if you want to shop them from home, because that's what I always do. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Let me know what you want to see next. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, please, and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.